Okay, so after doing those first few examples together, now you might want to take a minute or two to try to fill in the blanks here. If you don't have this printed, it's totally fine. You could just write down, copy this down in your notebook. But if you want to pause it and do that now, would be a good time to pause. So to name a prism or a pyramid, we use the shape of the base. So a prism and cylinder, what they have in common is that they have two bases. So a cylinder has two circular bases, and the prism has two bases of any type of polygon. So the bases of a prism are polygons. The example we did, they were rectangles, but you can also have something like a pentagonal prism, where you have two oops, that's a bad pentagon. We have two pentagons, and then the prism kind of looks like that. All right, not the best picture, but you don't need rectangle bases for prisms. But like these sides, these faces, should always be rectangles in a prism. Oops. And a cylinder has bases that are circles. Okay, a pyramid and cone, they have one base. The base of a pyramid is a polygon, so that's what a prism and pyramid have in common. They have polygon bases. But a cone would be a circle. So cones and cylinders have things in common, and pyramids and cones have something in common, and prism and cylinder have something in common. Alright, a cross section. Okay, so a cross section is the 2D shape formed when you cut a 3D shape with a straight cut. So another way to say it is the directions right here. The shape formed by the intersection of a plane and a solid. So the plane is kind of like the knife cutting the solid, and the cross section is the shape that's formed. So take a moment, pause the video, and determine the cross sections of these three cubes right here. Okay, in the first one, the plane is parallel to the base, so the shape created in the cross section is going to be a square. All the sides are equal. You can see all these sides are the same sides as the cube, so it's a square. Now, in the second one, it's still going to be a parallelogram, but I'm going to go with a rectangle here. Now the plane is cut at an angle through like one of the diagonals of the sides. So like these two sides will equal each other, but since it's a cube that's getting cut, the diagonals are going to be longer than these two sides. So that shape created is going to be a rectangle in that cross section. And then here, since we're cutting it at an angle, cutting one of the corners off, the shape created is going to be a triangle. It wasn't a great job highlighting it, but if you were to cut off the corner of, like, say, a box, like a shoe box, and you look, the shape created is going to be a triangle.